Evening. How's everybody? How we doing? Well, that's strange. I've been live for 10 seconds, and my average watch time is 22 seconds each. So, thanks to the looks like two of you who have been here for twice as long as I have. So, how you doing? Anyway, so I'm looking here. I absolutely love this. They did such a good job with a lot of the environments here, especially in condensed little areas. In Red Dead, what we're looking at here is the road towards. I think it's just called Braithwaite Manor. One of those feuding houses. It is so nice. This is modeled after so many of these kind of little drives all throughout the South. And they did a really good job of getting the atmosphere of it, and it becomes rather a dramatic entrance at some point. If you're familiar with the storyline of the game, I'm almost certain we will not get to the dramatic part tonight. Maybe next week though. With the whole gang, very what's the word? Cinematically strolling up the drive. For reasons. Anyway, we'll see. We will get probably halfway there or so if my estimations are anything to go by. Then next week we might actually get to that point. We'll see. We might also just stop right short of it and then lead off in the following week or something like that, because it's quite the dramatic entrance. Otherwise, like I have said, I'm ready and wanting to talk about some of the reading group stuff, ready and wanting to talk some more about justice, about law, all of which becomes particularly relevant to what's going on right now in the game, as I did mention that, remember last week we helped out the local sheriff. Well, Dutch swings some things soon, and the thumbnail of this video is a little bit of a spoiler if you don't know it already. So, without further ado, let's go into it. Presumably, if it clicks, there we go. And then we will see. We'll see what I was talking about. So, it's in Rhodes here, in this the kind of southern town that we find Arthur switch. Well, kind of, we could say switch to, at least to an extent, to the other side of the law. Helping out the sheriff instead of shooting everyone in the town, at least not initially. But yeah, it's maybe not a change in heart really just yet, particularly because the whole thing is just Dutch playing a trick on everybody to get. To continue getting away with everything that they're getting away with, but it is still, it's still at least something. It is still it's an attempt to live a settled and well-adjusted and civilized life, even civilized by the standards imposed upon them, that whole sort of thing. But again, only to a degree. It's not exactly that everybody is that they're really wanting to cooperate with the law. They're just kind of going along with it, and Dutch is trying to pull one over on everybody. So Arthur is not quite all the way along his path to redemption just yet, even if he's sort of getting a taste of living a somewhat more civilized life. But we are starting to see hints and traces throughout this of Arthur showing a little more of his humanity, showing a little more of his willingness to do the right thing, given the circumstances. So let's see where we left off. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's right. We're just grave robbing. That's right. Collecting debts and grave robbing to do it. Not bad. That's very, I just said that. Oh, the Greys. We should talk to Dutch first, but let's see if there's anything else around these parts. Oh, hey, that's Winton Holmes. Who's Winton Holmes? I don't remember what this is. All right, well, let's go to Albert Mason first. That's the wildlife photographer fella. So we'll do some of our side questy things first before we continue along with Dutch's nonsense, all of his plans and all that, you know. All right, so let's head north. Out of this strange town called Rhodes. Back up onto the, I guess the prairies. Is a good way of describing that environment area. Oh, Kylie, did you not remember? Were you not here at the end of last? You weren't, were you, for the grave robbing bit? All right, so hey, there we go. If not, I'll briefly go over what happened. So it's another debt collection thing. We were just collecting on some more debts. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stream's freezing. Hang on a second. Everybody still hear me okay? I saw there was a little glitch there, but... Anyway, so last time we were collecting on some more debts, and we were collecting from an undertaker. Oh, interesting. There.
What cargo you bringing through here? Easy there. I'm trying to get these supplies to the federal building. You might not be from the mine. Move in.
And there we go. Some Lemoyne Raiders taken care of. The roads of roads. Let me know if it stays a problem, and I'll see if I can maybe reset the stream or something like that. Should be okay. Shouldn't be much of an issue now. I am seeing that there is an issue YouTube receiving video, that sort of thing. So if it stays blurry, if it stays a problem, then he's missing his head. That's not good. If it stays a problem, let me know, and I'll do what I can to fix it. Otherwise, if it doesn't work, well, I'll do something. I'll try and figure something out. But hopefully, it looks like it's more or less resolved itself, so we can keep moving. Anyway, so helped somebody by blowing some heads off. That was nice. Very nice of Arthur. Anyway, so what I was saying, good. Glad to hear it's better. So last time we were doing a little grave robbing. So we were collecting on a debt from an undertaker, or coffin maker, or somebody who worked in the death business. And so because of that, we were. Okay, cool. Because of that, we were. He didn't have the money on him, but he just buried an old woman who had was buried with a very fine jewelry collection. And so he decided that the best way to handle this situation would be to surreptitiously dig her back up and remove the jewelry and give it to Arthur, and I currently have it in my satchel. So that's morbid and disturbing and not quite right. We're talking a little bit about the what is wrong with that sort of thing, and so from I was also saying, from a strictly proprietarian sort of point of view, in terms of I guess you could say in terms of strict justice, in terms of rights, that sort of thing, that there wasn't it's not I said last week that it's not technically a theft per se, but I did give this a little more thought. Right. The reason I said it wasn't a theft is because I compared it to finding and appropriating abandoned property. Right? Because stuff you bury with, let's just say, stuff you bury with yourself, things you die with, and you are no longer in possession of because you're not there. It's just a corpse. Right? Stuff like that is more or less abandoned property, right? Because clearly you're not using it. You're not exercising your ownership over it in any way at all, right? You're not even maintaining a title because dead people can't, maintain a title. They can't own things. However, I have rethought this a little bit. I gave it some thought. Now, also worth noting, this part I did mention last week that it's still immoral. It's still unethical, even if it's not strictly speaking theft. It's not stealing from someone. Because it does involve desecration of sacred grounds, desecration of a corpse, desecration of a gravesite, all of this, right? And so clearly there is something wrong with it, particularly from a I guess broadly speaking, you could say a religious or a liturgical perspective. There's certainly something wrong with it. But from a proprietarian standpoint, I have kind of come to realize that there might still be something wrong with it. Because usually when you die and you are buried, you don't just go into the dirt, you go into a graveyard, which is owned. Right? Essentially what you're doing is you are bequeathing care of your remains and whatever is buried with your remains to whoever is interring you. So in this case, it would be the church and roads. So you're stealing not from the dead person per se, but from an agent of the dead person carrying out their will, which I think would be the proper way of stating matters. Right? It's not that you're still not quite to stealing from the dead person, and it's not like you're stealing from the church, like the other thing he mentioned, taking from the collection plate, that sort of thing. A little bit different than that.
You're still Mr. Morgan. How are you?
But it's irrelevantly similar.
Apparently. Aside from that, very well.
How's the project going?
Well, this is God's country, and I am his faithful servant, although perhaps not his most talented one. I have been trying to capture the grace of the wild horses here for weeks, only the buggers can't stand me.
That is a silver dapple pinto.
I know. Beautiful. Won't come anywhere near me, of course. He can smell my stupidity.
Well, how about I drive him over?
Oh, that might help. Can you be bothered? I feel like such a blunderer.
Sure. Wait here.
At least this time I doubt I'll get eaten.
So Kevin says, we reckon they can't on account of our perception of their current state. You're talking about dead people owning property? If so, I think that would be largely correct, and I think that we would be correct in those perceptions, primarily because the dead are not currently corporeal, right? They're not embodied because they're disembodied. They're dead. So properly speaking, you're not interacting with physical reality, and so you can't really own physical property. Now, what implications this might have for intellectual property, if there can be such a thing, I don't know, and I don't want to get into it because, quite frankly, I have theoretical objections to intellectual property anyway. But maybe that's something worth noting, worth talking about in terms of how do I do this?
Move it up.
All right, let's go.
Get up. Go on now, Ollie.
Oops, I don't want to kick him. There we go.
Let's make you all famous.
All right. But yeah, I don't think that the best way of looking at it would be in similar terms to ownership, right? So I don't think disembodied, separated substances, to use the technical term, right? Souls without their bodies would would be able to own things because they're incorporeal, right? They don't have nor interact with physical existence, and because they don't have physical bodies, they can't interact with physical reality, and because they can't interact with physical reality, they can't really own physical property, right? So Kevin has a good point. He says depends on the nature of the mind. So if the mind is fundamentally independent of the body, then it would be more like abandoned property, because the mind is not currently interacting with its property, being the body. So the body would be abandoned, and then so therefore the body would be the body's possessions, the other physical things, would be then abandoned, or again bequeathed, right? And that's fine. So even in that case, even if the mind is independent, even if we're working on sort of like a Platonic or a Gnostic model, even there, I don't think it would be an issue of theft per se, except insofar as it was bequeathed.
Well, in my world, that makes you a genius.
You're too kind. So how are the photos coming along?
Oh, amazing. Here, I have a print of the wolves before they tried to eat us. It's for you.
That's real fine.
Well, thank you.
Take care, Mr. Mason.
You too, sir. You too.
Nice. I love Mason.
Now for a few final checks.
He's so great. So also, let me know if the game audio is too loud or too quiet. If it's fine, I'll just leave it as is. But if you think it needs to be turned up or turned down, let me know. I'll be happy to. Kylie asks, "Wait, what if the person is brain dead but still technically alive?" Depends what you mean by brain dead. That's really a cop-out answer, but I think it's probably necessary to use real precision in such things. So we would say somebody is clinically dead, brain dead, if they have what is it? Is it no brain activity? I actually don't know the medical definition because I'm not anything like a doctor. I haven't studied medicine. I don't even biomedical ethics isn't really my specialization, so I couldn't tell you for sure. I sell off some of my crap. Oh, I already sold most of my crap. Okay, that's it.
Remember you passed through here some time ago.
Sir, I did. But if somebody is brain dead, typically we consider them to be dead. It's just that their body is being kept alive. Their body's being kept functioning by external means, which is very different from them being alive per se. Right? Those are very different things. It wouldn't be that the person is alive. It's just that their body is being to borrow a motif from last night's stream, their body is sort of being puppeted by machines in a sense, right? So if you're on a ventilator, but so that is keeping oxygen pumping through your lungs, and there is a feeding tube that's keeping your stomach working, your digestive system working. There is a pacemaker keeping your heart working, right? All these things working together to keep your body kind of doing its thing at a sort of minimal level. Then we wouldn't say that you're alive in the proper sense. We would say that you are, that your remains, we should say, to be precise, your remains are being manipulated. Or maybe we can even say being preserved, right? So maintaining a body after brain death is something like preserving it so that it does not decay. I think that's maybe the best way of thinking of it. In fact, like I said, I'm not a specialist in biomedical ethics, but I do know that one of the common sort of thought experiment questions in biomedical ethics is whether it is morally acceptable to keep a brain dead patient, clinically alive with ventilators and such, using machines, if they're an organ donor, until their organs are needed. And, that's, again, I don't know exactly the answer to that sort of question, right? So like I said, I'm not a biomedical ethicist by training. I don't know the medical aspects of it, so I couldn't say for sure. But I would think that it's roughly similar to preserving a dead body through other means, whether that's on ice or whatever. Kevin says, Devil's Advocate, if we consider the... Hold on, let me go to cinematic camera. This is a long one. Sorry. Devil's Advocate, if we consider the anecdotal statements of certain people who have experience with ghosts, tossing things around, shutting opening doors, even expressing possessiveness. So Kylie says poltergeist, or something similar. So let's give the devil his due and point to the possibility that it could be a devil, right? If we are working under the assumption that humans are at least in part immaterial, and they are separated substances, to use the technical sort of scholastic term, that is, they're pure form without matter, then there could be creatures that are, in fact, naturally pure form and no matter, namely angels. And if we're to believe Abrahamic theology in general, some of those angels are fallen. So there are immaterial, pure spirits which are diabolical, that are opposed to God in their nature is maybe not the right term, but at least in their will, turned away from God. And so it could be that these spirits, which claim to be or appear to be human ghosts or human spirits, are demonic or diabolical spirits, which are in fact interacting with the physical corporeal world, or even just interacting with people's senses. That is another sort of theory of apparitions, of demonic apparitions. That it's not actually, materializing, but it's really just a trick of perception, that sort of thing. I hate this bridge. Okay. I hate this bridge because it's like a perfect little blind spot, and I always get ambushed on it. It drives me nuts. Anyway, I didn't that time, so good. I cannot believe that wagon hasn't been washed away yet. It's been like weeks in game time. Oh well, moving on. So that's one possibility, right? That they're demonic spirits. There is the possibility as well that. Hold on a second.
Well, that's it. You three, back to work. We lost too much time on this already. Mr. Appleseed is very unhappy.
Mr. Appleseed ain't out here getting mauled by wolves. We lost 2 men already.
But you good-for-nothing cowards.
Yeah.
Call yourselves lumbermen, you freedless few damn critters. It's a forest. What the hell do you expect?
Oh! Yes! Maybe you're the man I need. Can't you believe these lazy lily livers? Refusing to work on account of a few little wolves.
They've been attacking workers on the south side of the camp. We need a real man to get rid of them. What do you say?
He'll be very well rewarded.
All right. If you're paying, I should be able to take care of that for you.
ready to walk. If the foreman don't do nothing about them wolves soon, I'm out of here.
Nice and easy. Stay back! Stay there now! Come on.
shots and howling, you got some good news for me?
Yep, it's done.
That's a relief, I'll tell you. Excellent work. Money's right there on the table.
Don't mention it. Me and Wolves go way back.
All right, you lazy bastards. You get back to work first thing in the morning. The wolves are gone, so no more excuses.
Testing? Testing. Oh my gosh. Okay, apparently something caused my microphone to mute. What was the last thing anyone heard? I don't know what was up with that. That's unfortunate. I was just talking about bonfires, but I guess I was talking about it to myself. Which realistically, most of the talking I do on these streams is to myself anyway, so it's okay. I'm used to it. Not a huge deal. But yeah, what was the last thing anybody heard? I actually don't know. I was, like I said, what was all this? Yarrow. But that's not the camp. What's up with this little camp? Kylie says, I wear a vanilla scent all the time that mixes with the smoke smell. Ooh, that sounds delightful. Yeah, anyway, so what I was saying was, yes, I absolutely love that, like, when smoke kind of gets into your clothes, you get that lingering thing. Whether that's a bonfire or I just smoke a pipe too, so that you kind of, especially if it's something aromatic, that'll kind of infuse. The trouble is when, especially bonfire smoke, or in my case, grill smoke, if it gets into your lungs, that's less pleasant than if it gets into your clothes. I was saying I wasn't sure if you guys noticed between last night and tonight that my voice is a little bit hoarse and a little bit higher than usual. That would be on account of this weekend. I was doing a lot of grilling and smoking, the grill smoke rather than tobacco smoke, really. I smoked some salt pork, which was turned out really well, and I was grilling a significant batch of naan, which works very, very well on a wood fire grill, as it turns out. Where the heck am I supposed to go here for this? Oh, come on. Geez. Last thing speculating about Ghosts in Purgatory. Did you? Well, I mentioned Jimmy Akin, who's a chief apologist of Catholic Answers, has a podcast called Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World, where he talks about some of this stuff. And I was saying I was going to link... oh, geez. I was going to link an episode of his that had to do with ghosts and whatnot. It's not going to land on me, right? Oh, good. It didn't land on me.
Mister?
Good morning.
Okay. I'm good. Didn't land on me. That's good news. Anyway, moving on. Basically, I just got some sinus scratchy. It's making me a little bit sniffly, making me a little bit nasally, and a little scratchy. So, apologies if it is distracting. But yeah, that is on account of inhaling quite a great deal of smoke and carbon monoxide. Sunday, I think it was. Yeah, it was Sunday evening. I was concerned a little bit about streaming this week. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do both, but it seems to be okay. Just a little bit off my A game. That's all. But yeah, it was. But no, otherwise, other than when that happens, it's very nice. I love grilling. I love most things involving open fire. All right, Winston Holmes. Who is this fella, and why am I looking for him? There's a graveyard. Interesting. Yeah. But if you've never had wood fire grilled naan, I highly recommend it. I'll tell you what, I might actually post the recipe that I use also in the description. If you guys are interested in such a thing, it is delightful. But yeah, that's if you have the opportunity to do that over a wood fire grill, definitely give that a shot. Still have a lot of that in the refrigerator. But yeah, I also have a lot of carbon monoxide in my lungs. I know it's carbon monoxide because I had the hey WizKid, I had the door open, the sliding glass door open for a little while, and smoke alarms went off and woke up Saoirse from the middle of the night. So that was awful. So Felt kind of bad about that. Alright, so this is another guy who I'm supposed to collect his debt. So let's see how this goes. Pistol time. Oh, I put it away. Alright, fine.
When Holmes?
I didn't expect to run into no one out here.
Funny how far a man's debts will follow him. You got some money for me, boy? I seen your name in our ledger.
You're with the German? Look, I got it for you. It's just, I don't got it yet. It's up in them hills.
You panning for it?
Hunting it. I tracked this cougar. It's rare. Lily white coat. The pelt to more and cover what I owe.
If I'm skinning anything, I'm skinning you, boy.
Please, I'm out of work. It's the only way you'll get paid, and all the hard work's already done.
Fine. Move.
I do hate hunting cougars.
Well, need our horses? It's, quite a trip.
Yeah.
WizKid says I drove on the freeway for the first time today. Congrats.
Let's get where we're going.
That is a fun and traumatizing experience. Oh, it's too cold. Hold on.
We come out here.
It's too cold.
Make
Let's
me face all
switch.
over this goddamn mountain.
Well,
Hey, you knew it was a risk.
there we go.
I didn't
That's
know
better.
nothing. Your name's all I knew.
Well, the German-speaking fella then, Mr. Strauss, he knew my work situation was precarious, that this whole thing was a risky venture.
Wait, risky? I'm at risk now? Are you threatening me, Winton Holmes?
I ain't. No, certainly not. Sir, I'm merely stating, a man without a job, with limited prospects, at those rates, repayment was by no means guaranteed. I said I'd do my best, and I did.
You're continuing to annoy me.
So yeah, this is this actually brings us to the point where this may in fact qualify as usury by typical definitions.
We're going right here, up the stream.
Personally secured loans with no collateral that don't seem that are basically a gamble for both parties. Which, you know, if it is clear to both parties,
I guarantee repayment. Because I'm going to get that money out of you. I got to squeeze you like a lemon. It's coming out.
Yeah, of course. We're onto it now, okay? We're onto it now. The cash is in that cougar, mister. Sure as pumpkins ain't cauliflowers, the cash is in that cougar.
I enjoyed that turn of phrase.
Be, or I'll turn you into a goddamn cauliflower.
WizKid says it went pretty well. It went pretty well, actually. Now all I need to practice parallel parking. Good to go. That's always fun. I'm not a big... I don't have a lot of practice myself in such things. I don't live in the city, so...
Big thing about cougars is they see you, not the other way around.
That may be, but you'd see this one. I've been hunting with my pa. Shot all kinds of cats. Never one like this. In another life, I'd have sought my fortune outdoors, not in the hot, stinking belly of a tar pit.
I ain't interested in your regrets or your life story, Mr. Holmes. Just your damn money.
So Kylie says you got to roll the lemon first to get more juice. Are you suggesting we like trod him under our horse before smashing his head in, or is that where the analogy breaks down? But yeah, as for parallel parking, it's funny. I used to drive a smart car for quite a few years. I love the thing. It's a lot of fun. The cool thing about it is you could parallel park incredibly easily, and if you could get away with it from a legal standpoint, you could parallel park sideways, because the car was shorter than most cars are long. So you didn't actually need to like actually back in and do the normal sort of thing. Wizkid says, hopefully it'll be fine. The freeway was pretty much exactly as I expected it to be. So this should be more or less the same. Parallel parking isn't that bad. It's just, it's finicky and it's kind of silly and inefficient. I don't know. I mean, I get it, but it's another thing about the city that I despise. That's all.
You hear that? There's a cougar in here. And I bet she's white as virgin cotton. The tunnel diverges up here. I'll take the left, you go right, and we'll see if we don't converge down a ways.
Oh, don't Scooby-Doo.
Look out for her.
Where's my lantern? There we go. That's better. Glad we're on the same page in regard to cities, Vince. Cannot stand them, says WizKid. Yeah, darn it.
She got her. Crap. Damn dead deader. Where are you? Crap. Gotcha. Hellcat.
There we go. One shot, one kill. Okay. Oh, wow, that was...
That'll be rare.
Okay. That was an easy loot. An easy skin. Hey, another corpse. Anything else back here is worth searching? Another corpse. That's all. Well, glad we took care of this cougar. It seems to have been killing, like, dozens of people. I mean, you know, a handful. So, yeah, I agree with Kevin. We don't care much for cities around these parts. Also, you know, we're playing Yeehaw Skyrim. It's not a very city game. Just wait until we get to the actual only big city in this game. And we get to... What? Whoa. Not that. I need that thing. Only big city in this game, Saint Denis. Just wait until we get to Arthur's reaction, which is very much like all of ours. The guy that says, we here country folk like wide open spaces and enough cows as far as I can see. Damn right. I agree 100%. I agree nowadays. I grew up in the suburbs, but I have very gradually come to admire living in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Let's go ahead and make good use of his horse. What? I'm cold? I'm still cold. What is this? Oh, I don't have any outfits. Crap. Alright, well, let's go down south before I freeze to death. Come on, my horse. What's going on here? There we go. There we go. Sounds good. So, well, it's cinematic for a little bit. WizKid says, the most city I get is Port Huron. And even then, it's basically an average-sized pseudo-port town. Basically, think stereotypical literal college town, but in Michigan instead of Maine. So basically, it's a Stephen King novel set, a few hundred miles left West, whatever. Left, okay. Well, listen. Kylie says also we country folk cannot pass a field of cows without going cows and horses. That's not necessarily true. There are plenty of country folk who can not do that. That is mostly a habit that is exclusive to millennials and younger, in my experience. At least I think. Maybe Gen X. Gen Xers might do that too, but it's pretty much just millennials and younger that do that sort of thing. No, I'm not cutting the second horse open and sleeping. Why? Why would I do that, Kevin? It's not that cold. Also, I have a coat on my other horse. I'm just riding south instead. That's all. Is it coming? Yeah, he's coming. Cool. I just need to get to a stable to sell this one off. That's all. Guys, I have a coat. It's just on the other horse. It's fine.
Hey, partner.
Anyway. WizKid says, yeah, pretty much. Complete with community college and petty rivalry. It's like going to high school with... Oh, boy. It's like going to high school with people you didn't go to high school with. I get that entirely. For my first year of college, I went to Stetson University, named after the hat. And I'm not exaggerating. It's literally named after the Stetson hat. Same company. Same guy founded it. But it was the student body, which was almost entirely undergraduates. The student body was actually smaller than my high school was, my little suburban high school. It was like under 2,000 undergraduates, which was ridiculous. And there was a tiny little small town, cute little main street. There was nothing to do at all. There was an ice cream parlor, which is the closest thing to entertainment that there was there. And I'm supposed to sell this cougar pelt, right? I'm definitely gonna sell those. Sell those to $38. All right, I guess that's what I'm supposed to do, right? I'm not screwing this quest up. Nah, crap. Not this. This. Yeah. Index. Missions. It just says butcher, so I guess yeah, I am. I'm supposed to sell it. Kylie says sounds like Dade City. A little bit like Dade City. Smaller.
Appreciate it.
Oops. Smaller than Dade City. Less to do. There was a Walmart, so there's at least that. That's something. Let's go over to the stable real quick. It's not open yet, but let's go either way. WizKid says, I like my time at SC4. Don't get me wrong, but it's funny to me that they're that even in a quote college town, it's not really that big. We have a downtown though. Plus, I made friends I actually want to keep. That's good. Always good. I still talk on occasion with a couple of people I was at just for a year with over at Stetson. In fact, one of the classes I teach, the one that's based on Plato's Republic, I basically more or less stole whole cloth from one of my professors there. It was my first philosophy class that basically put me on the path to where I am today, which is apparently streaming YouTube and talking about philosophy. Oh, and also, teaching professionally, that too, but, whatever. But yeah, that's... And yes, Kylie, believe it or not, smaller than Dade City. Not even kidding, not exaggerating, tiny. This was a tiny little town. It was literally one street. Didn't even have the little cross throughways that Dade City has. Everything was on the same block. It didn't even have the little crossways. So yeah, it was absurd. No, it wasn't stolen. It was from a dead guy. All right. Anyway, let's sell it for a couple bucks and head out. There's a bounty over here we can take. It was cute. I got my first little taste of living out in the middle of nowhere there. Like I said, I grew up in suburbia. I grew up surrounded by, you could drive 10 minutes and get to basically any major chain that you wanted to that exists in Florida. Was within 10 minutes of my house. basically across the street from my high school, and right down the street from basically everything else. Well, that sounds cool. So WizKid says, we have a cafe that's inspired by the works of Edgar Allan Poe. It's called The Raven. Great for dates, can confirm. Good to hear. That does sound pretty neat. I like that. Really enjoy that. That sounds really cool. And it's raining. Oh, I was not keeping the horse. Sorry. I see now that you guys are proposing names, and I apologize for not letting you know that. I can only keep 4 horses in the stable, so I'm at my maximum currently. So the next horse we find will either have to be a replacement for one, or unfortunate replacement for one. Okay, so let's see what this bounty is about. $40 reward, not too much, but okay. Apprehension and delivery of Joshua Brown, the notorious shootist. One for unlawful killings. Last known whereabouts of north of Strawberry. I'll take it. Oh, wait a minute. Is it really? I think I might be going straight back to where I just was. I think he might be holding out in that same cave. I'm not sure. Kevin says, apparently we know what folks think of dead people's property in the game. Yeah, especially in this game, as Kevin says. Yeah, very much so. Shootist, so Kylie, shootist is, I think, I know it's an old-timey Old West term. I've seen it in places other than just here. Basically, it's a gunslinger. Like, we would probably say gunslinger. What is with this horse just kind of wandering here? Hi. What the heck? That's weird. Okay, that's bizarre. All right, let's keep going. Let's just head out. Anyway.
Come on, folks. Fastest coach around here. Hello.
I do not need stagecoach. All right. So anyway, the horsey was just wandering around town. I don't think it was going anywhere, unfortunately. Oh, get a what? Hold on. What's this? I vaguely heard someone back here. Oh, it's this guy that I don't know what the heck he's up to.
Be gone. Be gone.
Howdy.
I just don't want him to see me. We're not friends anymore. We're not. They won't forgive you. They didn't forgive me. There is no forgiveness. None, friend. None. I know you want it. I can smell it on you. Well, it isn't happening. No, it isn't. That's why. That's why I'm out here, well away from them. See, they come for me, but I'm watching. Yeah. I never sleep. I never do.
Yeah, possibly schizophrenic, possibly literally possessed. Always a possibility in this game and in general, particularly out in Crazy Town. Yeah. So that guy shows up once in a while. I still don't know why or if there is a connecting story having to do with him or anything, but I keep seeing him. I've seen him around a few times between on stream and in my last playthrough. Nothing came of it, as far as I know. Something else might, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll have to see. Yeah, standing in the... Oh, hey, somebody else. Oh, that's not good.
Please, quick! You gotta get this off me. I'm going numb.
You all right? Oh, this looks bad.
No, I'm not all right. It's real bad. I don't got no time here. I'm bleeding fast.
All right, here we go.
Keep at it. Oh, God, you did it. Praise Jesus. Oh, God. I gotta grab something for the blood. Thank you. Oh, I was done for, you saved me. Thank you. Take something from my back for the trouble, though.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a minute now.
Take some rifle cartridges. Thank you very much, sir.
My leg feels like it's on fire.
I'd wager it would. You want some whiskey?
Drink this for the pain.
Yeah, that'll help a bit.
Yes. And to think, I almost didn't bring the trap.
That might have been better. All right, well, let's move along. That was fun.
What?
Some whiskey, WizKid. Some nice Kentucky bourbon, if I recall, if I'm looking at the bottle right. What? No, he didn't die. WizKid, no, he didn't die. He was this guy we got to in time, and he was apparently fine. More or less fine. This guy, at least. All right. I mean, fine is not exactly the right word to use, but alive, yes, alive. I mean, it sounded like he was in the process of dying, but he seemed to be okay at the moment. What's up here? Oh, ooh, this guy.
Well, what's eating you, partner?
Eating me?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll dry up.
What?
See, Hey, can I ask you a strange question? I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm on the level.
I don't have a clue what you just said.
Well, I'm sorry, sport. There's these funny rock carvings. They look a bit like this.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I sort of really badly have to find all of them. Now, it's sort of a puzzle thingamy. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm on the up and up, and it's really important.
Little rock carvings.
Yeah, exactly, little rock carvings.
What do you want to do with them?
Well, it's sort of very complicated, and you'll think I'm jazzed if I tell you.
You're what?
Drunk?
Are you?
No, I wish. No, I'm, lost. It's a long story. Can you find the carvings?
I have no idea.
Well, I sort of need them. Hey, listen, if you find them, I'll pay you handsomely. Send me details, if you can. Here's my card.
And if I can't?
Well, I'm sure you can, sport. I'm sure you can. Francis Sinclair.
Arthur Morgan.
Pleasure.
I don't understand. Why do you need these things?
Well, I told you. If I told you, you'd think I was on the hooch.
What?
I'm gonna have a lie down. I don't feel very well. And neither would you but, hey, what harm could it do?
What a lunatic.
Yeah, Kylie, I think you might be right. Which is sort of weird, given that it's 1899. Strange and out of place, huh? Well, whatever. It's probably fine. It's nothing weird going on or anything.
What the hell?
What? I rode near you, sir. Kevin says that dude reminds me of my brother. Maybe he is your brother. You even said old sport. Gatsby meets Yeehaw Skyrim. Yeah, Gatsby does. It's a little out of place, I think. His certainly his dialect, his manners, his mannerisms, his dress. He was certainly not dressed like a 1890s gentleman. Oh, that's not good. Hi, Bear. Go away. Go away, Bear. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I will eventually get a bear pelt. That was a small one, so it doesn't have a full-size pelt. I will eventually get bear pelts. There are a couple of cool outfits that involve the bear, particularly that legendary grizzly that we were going to try and hunt with Hosea. Maybe one of these days, if you guys want, we can do a stream where we just go hunting for some of the legendary animals and that sort of thing. I think the legendary elk is around here. I think it's the elk. Yeah. Moose, elk, if there's a difference. Unfortunately, there's also cougars. That's what's over here. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe like I said, maybe one of these days we will do just a dedicated hunting stream. That'd be fun. Like I said, it is one of my favorite things about this game. Did we finish talking about ghosts? Because we were talking about ghosts. Let's see. Oh, he's wanted alive. Okay, well, let's get our lasso out. And... you know what? Let's just go lasso. Yeah, WizKid agrees hunting is one of your favorite things in Yeehaw Skyrim as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Dead end. You got nowhere to go, bounty hunter. I ain't here to kill you. Wouldn't matter if you were. There's only one way out of here, and that's through me. Come easy. I'll say something to the law. It ain't gonna be easy. You're gonna have to draw on me to get me out. You might have found me, but you won't beat me, bounty hunter. Goddamn bounty hunting son of a bitch! Damn you! What the hell?
Oof. That was rough. Alright. Alright. Now let's take his stuff.
This is very kind of you.
And hold on. Oh, I took his wedding ring. That's rough. Let's go see if his gun is worth anything after we shot it. No, it's not. Okay. It's just a cattleman revolver. Worn cattleman revolver. Really? Really? A wanted shootist is using a piece of crap. Poorly maintained cattleman revolver. Alright, well, whatever. Scoop you up.
Alright, let's go. We're going back to Strawberry.
Now, do you have a horse here that I should take? Nope, just mine. Oop, don't want to drop. Ah, jeez. Oh, God. I missed the horse. There. Oh, yeah. No, Kevin, I absolutely. This guy has definitely got the
You didn't even have the decency to do it right. You duel him,
outlaw
man,
with a
and
gun
put
attitude.
him down. Not knock him out and tie him up. You got no decency, bounty hunter.
Yeah, I like this guy. I'm gonna let him yammer on for a little while. Some of them I just, you know, hit to shut him up. Oh, it's the lady who was killing her husbands or lovers or whatever. Her. She was basically just trying to woo Arthur and trying to convince him that it was a mistake and all that. Hi, Boar.
One in the middle of your eyes before you even blinked. You ain't nothing special. You ain't gonna stay sharp for very long. None of us do. Take a nap, old man.
Don't worry, he'll wake up. Yeah, he's that's actually pretty common. A lot of the bounties are just like, really? I mean, understandably mean. You did just usually shoot them. And you got them hogtied on the back of your horse, trotting along the country way, that kind of thing.
I wish you'd killed me back there. A real man would have killed me. A real man wouldn't tie me like this. A real man wouldn't take me in.
Yeah, okay.
That's Big Josh, all right.
Hey,
Okay, fine. You know what?
can we take that bounty off of you?
I can manage you fine.
Nope. Apparently, I shot his horse. My bad. Yep, you're losing me, because there's literally one of you left. Just leave me alone, you idiots. Ah, I forgot.
You're popular, ain't you?
There's a hat. Why are you back? You just need to die, don't you? Oh, and he's getting dragged too. That's rough. Poor idiot bastard. Really? You're still coming? Who the hell's still coming?
More damn bounty hunters. Oh, you're okay, boy. You killed all those men. You're not better than me.
I'm a better shot. Anyway, yeah, WizKid says, I can't stand the woman. She tries to seduce you, and Arthur takes none of it. Yep, none of it right in the face. Oh, man. Now am I going to get attacked by a bear again? Because that'd be fun.
I deserve to go out with some damn honor.
No, you don't.
I live by the gun, let me die by it, damn it. That's what I deserve, you damn sneak. You damn gut shooter.
I shot you in the hand. I didn't even shoot you in the gut. Yeah, I don't know why they kept coming at me, even after I shot the horse out from under one of them, who then sprinted after me for some really, really stupid reason. Oh, man. That was a not a smart move on any of their parts, and they all should have known better. Every one of them.
You make me sick. You got no pride. Just coyotes fighting over someone else's kill. I bet you got a price on you too. Somewhere. No one shoots like you do. Hasn't had some practice. Here we are.
Sorry, sir.
Strawberry. I hear the shells here are really comfortable. You trying to be winsome, bounty hunter?
We have Smash Mouth in the chat now.
I'm a regular
Howdy,
charmer.
Smash Mouth.
Come on.
WizKid says, live by the sword, and... Yep. Live by the sword and do what comes next with that, as we know. But no, we're not going to let him live. We're not going to let him die by the gun. We're just going to toss him in a jail cell. And then laugh at him. Yep. Alright. But yeah, so let's...
Got Brown here.
Mr. Brown.
Come on now.
take him downstairs.
Make him comfortable downstairs.
Lock me up. Forget about me. Now, leave me to my peace.
Okay. See ya.
You hear? I want peace.
Okay, I'm leaving. Calm down, buddy.
Pays right here. He make you work for it?
He dueled me, so I'd say that's a yes.
Lucky you're...
Obliged.
Alright. Taken care of. Anyway,
Let's go, boy.
so let's keep talking about ghosts, I suppose. So right a little bit before WizKid got here, we were talking about ghosts. In particular, we were talking about if and how ghosts could interact with physical corporeal reality. So let's go over to Dutch. Actually, you know what we can do? So we can take the stagecoach. I'll cut down our travel time quite a bit. That'll be a good idea. Let's go take the stagecoach.
Evening, mister.
All by myself plays in the distance as he sits in his cell. Thanks, Kylie. I like that image. That fits. That fits our little self-aggrandizing guy over there.
You need a ride somewhere, mister?
Yes, sir. I need to get off my horse, don't I? Yeah, okay.
Can I get a ride, please, partner?
Where's your destination?
Let's go to Rhodes.
Please.
That ain't no quick ride, so let's get going.
People waiting
What in the name of all that's holy happened here?
So WizKid says, talking about ghosts. The real man, I have a full library full of ghost stories in Michigan. Some of them even have testimony for leggings. From legitimate ghost stories, ghost hunting societies. Oh yeah, I'm not here. I'm not one to deny that supernatural occurrences happen. We did talk a good bit about, and I've had what are probably supernatural experiences as well. And I say probably because again, I didn't take due diligence to confirm or anything like that. Anything along those lines. But regardless, though, I do think that let's put it more broadly and say hauntings. Let's say do in fact happen. They are in fact real. What? This isn't my good coat. This isn't my good outfit. What's going on? I'm so disappointed in that. What's going on? I'm not happy. I'm not happy. This isn't my nice outfit that I just bought. Darn. Alright, whatever. Guess I'm gonna look like an outlaw. You know what? No, I'm not. No. I'm gonna take matters and I'm gonna actually go and change clothes because I'm not entering into this next stage in the quest dressed like I just walked in from the dirt. Anyway, so Kylie says, I was thinking about the idea of psychics and how they claim to talk to people who passed on. I was thinking about how only be people in purgatory waiting for heaven that they're able to reach. Possibly. I wouldn't think that would be completely restricted. If they are capable of contacting the dead, then they would presumably be able to contact and, well, let's continue. So as you say, I've met a person through a church choir director that says they were good at reading people. What's this guy up to?
Hey, partner.
Hey, mister.
Okay.
Hey, move it.
Anyway, as far as their aura and reaching out to people who are dead, okay, they're creepy accurate about a lot. WizKid says, I used to see and draw angels everywhere. Everywhere I went as a child. Even once told my dad I was going to go fishing with my grandpa, despite being born after he died. No way of knowing that he liked to fish. Sure are real too. My uncle taught me how to see them. So presumably, I assume you mean ghosts, if not angels. Presumably angels. The thing with psychics is the more out in the open they are, the less likely they are to be legitimate. Yeah, that's probably fair. And as far as legitimacy goes, there's also okay. So let's see what's this guy's up to. I will come back to the issue of psychics. There is interesting stuff there.
Oh, hey there. Why don't you join me and have a seat over here by the fire?
Okay, sure.
By the fire.
Why not? Oh, auras and things. Okay.
Bone dry. Sins I'm carrying around, you won't even believe. But if I had a little whiskey to loosen up my tongue a little, I might tell you.
Sure, why not?
Here. Only fitting that I'd be drinking the devil's brew. I'll be seeing him soon enough.
You sure will drinking the whole bottle like that. Jeez.
You're a place called Four Rigs? South of Strawberry. Captain, Indians penned in there like cattle. I ain't know what's worse. Seeing the ones we killed or watching the other ones die. The slow way. Well, they pay well. Them government boys. But the money don't last long. It's what you did. Sticks around.
I know the feeling.
I was a young man then, but I still see them faces clear as yesterday. I do. I might rest a little eyes a minute. Feeling very sleepy all of a sudden.
It's probably the whole bottle of bourbon you just drank. Oh, he's dead. Okay, he's dead. Okay, well that was nicely creepy.
Come on now, boy.
telling us the story of Fort Riggs down by Strawberry. About yeah.
You all right there, boy?
There we go. Have some of that. Yeah, there's a lot of abuse of natives, and that's a big theme in this game. The sort of call it cowboys and Indians conflict, especially late in the game near the end. There's a whole lot of that. I think it's handled pretty well overall. So, in terms of psychics, I think it's entirely possible, right? Entirely possible the kind of the idea of interaction with spirits, interaction with the dead, although more likely interaction with the demonic or diabolical. And that, I think, is the big trouble with psychics and mediums, is that they have no way of verifying that it is in fact a human spirit, if such a thing is possible. Right? Even if it is possible, right? Assuming that it is, there's no way of verifying that it is in fact a human spirit and not a demon, right? A fallen angel. Because, of course, in that kind of situation, it may well be. Not Gunslinger. I don't actually like the Summer Gunslinger very much. Pursuer. I like the Chevalier. Heartlands. That one. And then... yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Chevalier. Not for Arthur. Didn't fit him. The Heartlands, though, yeah, that'll do. Cool. So that'll be on the horse. Actually, let's wear this one. Put that on the... nope, okay. Equip it. There we go. So I have that, and I have these two on the horse. Good. Wait, what? Why am I wearing the Chevalier? Said the Heartlands. There we go. Anyway. Let's sleep till morning. 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours is enough sleep. I would know. So yeah, WizKid says a good point about this. What I was saying, the thing about pagans is that even though what they're doing isn't necessarily evil, there's no guarantee that what they're contacting is benevolent. In fact, I think it's more likely that it isn't, and I say that primarily because of the prohibitions against necromancy we find in Scripture and that sort of thing. Right? So if those prohibitions are in fact true, if that is in fact a yeah, let's go fishing with Kieran. If that is, in fact, directly from God, then it seems that something holy and wholesome wouldn't encourage the disobedience of God like that, right?
Yes, very funny. I saved your life, and now you torture me. Ho ho!
Shut up.
Do you want to go fishing with me? I found an interesting spot. We'll do well.
I'm not a great fisherman.
But I am. I'll teach you something. We come?
Sure.
All right, then. Grab your horse and let's go.
All right. I like Kieran. I do. For a former O'Driscoll.
Okay, follow me. I know a great little fishing spot along the beach.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, buddy.
Who'd have thought it? Wasn't that long ago I was tied to the back of your horse while begging for mercy. Now we're off fishing together.
How do you know I ain't just looking for a good place to drown you?
Because I saved your life, Arthur.
You keep saying that. But I save your life every day I don't kill you. So we are more than even on that front.
Come on, you don't mean that.
You better believe I mean it. Now where's your spot?
Not much further.
So there's the so first of all, like I said, there's the issue of the undependability and the very high likelihood that anything that a psychic or a medium might contact would be diabolical. So that is, you know, a potential issue. So and that also has to do with hauntings in general. Could be in a lot of cases could well be the demonic masquerading as human spirits. Because as far as we know, human spirits don't have a way of directly interacting with the physical world. And I kind of talked about this earlier, right, before Whiskey got here. Lake lure, heck yeah. There we go. That'll do it.
Seeing lots of bluegill and bass over here. Bait with worms or crickets if you got them. Otherwise, maybe some bread or cheese.
Okay, I don't got those. I got bread. Let's do bread. Just like my wife taught me to do. My actual real life wife taught me to fish with bread. I did not know such a thing was possible, being mostly a saltwater fishing kind of guy, but
I ain't an O'Driscoll. I told you fellers 100 times. I'd only been with him a couple of months. I was just a runner, helping out with the horses mainly. Bottom rung of the ladder.
And to think that was the high point of your career.
Comb goes through men like cigars. They ain't like you folks. You barely knew my name. I'm more Kieran Vanderlyn than Kieran O'Driscoll at this point. Honest to God. Mostly I'm Kieran Duffy.
I hate to break it to you, but I ain't sure Kieran Vanderlyn is gonna stick.
There you go.
all right. It's just a little one.
Not too fast. You could break the line. Nice. Good catch.
Yeah, just a little one. Little bluegill. All right, I don't need it. Throw it back.
See if you can hook another.
See if I can bait it. Just use the same one. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not like that. I thought I could just tab to bait. Oh, E. There we go. Anyway, shut up, Karen. Kylie says I've tried manifestation, but I think it ties into the more you say something is going to happen, the more you're going to see signs that it will, because you're actively or subconsciously looking for it. I think there are a lot of psychological effects that get in the way of paranormal investigations. And by get in the way of, I mean, it can. It's easy to mistake psychological effects for paranormal effects.
I can't win. I promised loyalty, he says, but you wasn't loyal to Combe. If I say I ain't got no allegiance to nobody, he says, how do I know you won't turn on us then?
I don't know what you want to hear. I'm trying hard to feel sorry for you, but somehow I just can't manage to.
So the trouble with traitors is that they are fundamentally untrustworthy, or at least you cannot be trusted.
Arthur, are you seeing this? The fella's naked as a jaybird.
You like this spot?
My lord.
Okay.
There's somebody needs to go to confession.
Hey, watch the line.
Oh, hey! I nearly gulped down a minnow. Sorry, fellas. Didn't see you there. Why don't you take a break? Come on in. The water's wonderful. You here for some fishing?
We hope to. You haven't scared them all away, have you?
Oh, just so you fellers know, there's some real big ones over that way, like this.
Oh, okay.
Well, I better keep the blood pumping. Hope you gents catch something.
Yeah? Maybe we'll take a look. Thanks.
I know where that is. Come on, let's go.
Sure. Let's take the creepy naked guy's word for it.
Hey, wait up!
The very happy naked swimming guy. That's normal. But yeah, in any case, I do think that so I would say there are various possibilities in terms of what hauntings can be, what apparent the apparitions of what are apparently human spirits are. The least likely is probably human spirits acting on their own power. It does not seem to me, based on metaphysical analysis, that human souls separated from the body are capable of interacting with material world. At least not, naturally in the sort of robust sense, right? They can't do it of their own power, unassisted. But maybe they could if they were assisted by God, that kind of thing.
Guess we'll see.
Okay, legendary fish location, neat. Can I use my lake lure? Let's try that. That might work.
Cast one in then, Arthur.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Calm down, mister. Alright, there we go.
So who taught you how to fish?
My pappy, mostly. I lost my mammy and pappy when I was young to cholera.
Your mammy?
Like I said, I was real young. After that, I was on my own pretty much, but I knew horses and fishing.
Well, just think now you'll never be alone again.
You got it. That has got to be the one, right?
It might be. Putting up one hell of a fight.
Alright, let's see if I can pull this thing in. Well, that's a decent sized fish. I don't think it's it, though. Nope. 5 pounds? Nah, toss it back. The other options are, of course, that they are... So, if it's not a human spirit, right, an actual human ghost, then it could be a demon, right? Particularly in cases of like hauntings, poltergeists, or whatever, that sort of thing.
I'm in camp. I got Bill and Sadie whispering in my ear all the time. They're gonna kill me in my sleep.
Man.
Like living in a nightmare.
Christ. If I'd known you were gonna moan this much, I'd have never have said yes to this.
Really gotta feel bad for Kieran.
I bet you got the big one there.
Not sure, but he feels big.
Alright. So demonic activity is another option, right? It could be.
No, that's not it.
Certainly not. So Kevin brings up a good possibility here. So as lots of folks see their dead loved ones days afterwards, it often leads to peace of mind and deeper faith. I reckon that's God-assisted situation. And that is the other possibility, right? So that's another one option I mentioned, right? It's possible that particularly souls in purgatory, God grants them the capacity, let's say, the capacity to interact with the physical world.
I think I'm gonna head back to camp, Arthur, if that's okay.
Sure. Go on, I'll see you later.
Yeah, all right. So if that is the case, right, so if God grants the ability to interact with the physical world to souls in purgatory, it would be presumably something like as either a reminder to the living to pray for them, as there's actually a tradition of that kind of thinking. I was mentioning, especially in some monastic traditions, I think. Forget which. Carmelites, maybe? But that is a common enough tradition that that sort of thing is at least possible, or at least that is a potential explanation for apparitions. Nothing great. All right, let's toss it back. That's all. Let's call it there for fishing. Let's head to Rhodes. See what Dutch needs us for. I know what Dutch needs us for, but we'll all see. We'll all see. This will take us right by Braithwaite Manor too, which is right over there. I think, unless that's Braithwaite Manor right there. But yeah, so in that case, right? So that is, I think, a common enough possibility. It could be, of course, that ghosts are in fact human spirits granted the ability to intercede, granted by God the ability to intercede. There's also, of course, the possibility that they are, in some cases, they are, in a sense at least, direct apparitions or direct revelations from God that are interpreted oddly in certain ways. This is that lawn, that nice entryway that we saw in the loading screen that I just absolutely love. So WizKid asks, why, if God allows it, is the church so against the idea of ghosts and other spirits? They're not really. The church is one of the primary investigators of hauntings, right? You see this sort of thing in terms of, in particular, in terms of demonic possession or demonic oppression. But this also can be related to... interesting. Interesting. All right.
This ain't how it looks.
I can't believe that worked.
Yeah, well, we don't got time to celebrate. Come on.
So, what's your plan anyway?
Plan? I plan not to get caught.
It ain't my problem.
Okay. So I got way behind in the chat during that, so let me catch up. Fair enough. That's bizarre, but let's continue along our merry way, I suppose. Kylie says, I agree, Kevin. Definitely a God assist, so to speak. A friend of mine's dad passed when they were a kid, and they went to spread his ashes. They saw what looked like him waving across the way as a reassurance. Yeah, that kind of thing is very common, and it can, of course, be a psychological effect, right? We can dismiss these kinds of claims, but maybe we shouldn't, and we certainly shouldn't dismiss them out of hand. And even if it is a psychological effect, that doesn't mean that either the soul of the person, the soul of the departed, and or God are not involved in some way. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Easy.
Okay. We have to be real quiet. I don't know why I always feel real quiet when I'm actually hunting, but here we go. Nice shot. All right, there we go. All right, let's go get it. Oh, how is this one? Nah, it's just 2-star. All right. So I got my nice 3-star deer. There we go. Perfect deer pelt. Hopefully, unless that ruined it. Kevin says, to clarify, I'd say the church urges caution rather than outright shuts the thought down. Yeah, because there is this problem, right, that we talked about, the unreliability of such encounters, that it is possible that they are not from who they appear to be from, right? And so we do have to be cautious when interacting with any aspect of the supernatural, perhaps other than the divine directly, right? There's even concerns about apparent private revelations, like from God, being not actually from God, and being demonic in origin, or simply being psychological. Right? And that can have its own deleterious effects, right, which we want to avoid. WizKid says that's good. It's funny, every time I move away from interest in the supernatural, it always seems like God does something that forces it back into my attention. So I'd say there's that's a sign. Oh, sign. Okay, sign not to feel bad about it. FUD, I assume you mean in terms of shooting the deer, but I'm not quite sure. Being very quiet. But yeah, that is. I do think that yes, that is a. There is a real concern there, so yes, caution is advisable in such cases, because we genuinely don't know, and we probably can't know exactly the origin of supernatural phenomena with any kind of reliability. So in any case, yeah, we should be pretty careful about such things. What's all this about? Oh, this is the guy I saved from the snake bite.
Hey, this here's the feller. The one that found me.
The medicine man, huh? Helps with the mystery box?
I will owe you my whole life. No lie. But, let me buy you something from the store. Whatever you want, it's on me.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if maybe there's another outfit we want or something like that.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, guy with the snake bite says I can put something here on his tag.
Jesus.
How about hunting?
If it's
Hunting
not
gear.
one thing, it's another with him. But he pays his owe, so who am I to argue? Let me know what you choose. I'll add it to his list.
We already got one of those. How about outfits? What don't we have that we want? Got the Heartlands. Got the Chevalier. Ooh, we could get the Earl. All right, it'll be the Earl or the Gambler. Let's try them both on and see. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. How about... Ooh, nah. The Earl? What do we think? The Earl or the Gambler? I could buy more Bernie juice. That is entirely possible. Yeah, I would also, WizKid, good idea steering clear of Ouija boards and things. Those can be particularly dangerous from all I've ever heard about them. Gambler? Yeah, WizKid, I tend to think I'm leaning that way myself. I did use the Earl quite a bit last playthrough, because it also kind of fits in Saint Denis, but I think the Gambler can too, so yeah, let's go with the Gambler. It's free too, so absolutely. All right, fantastic. I know I'm playing next time. That's fine. I'll deal with that. Yeah, look at that. Look at Arthur. He's looking good. All right, let's keep going. Let's move along. Okay. So, Dutch wants to talk to us. So yeah, I do think that that is there are a series of possibilities as to what various supernatural occurrences could be if they are supernatural. So that is something to keep in mind in these experiences to kind of be cautious about.
Boy is a killer. Arthur, you've met but not been introduced to Mr. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sheriff.
Well, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
Tough business you boys had.
We did?
Well, there's no need to pretend with me, sir. Life can be tough.
So it can.
And no man owes another anything.
No, sir.
But still, I feel you were hard done by. Losing your employment like that.
I love how the camera follows him. It just makes you feel drunk.
We have work work enough for honest men.
Oh, that's some strong stuff. Still, don't seem to be doing you any harm, I guess.
Exactly. Whoa. Excuse me a moment.
I told you we was moving up in this world.
Well, that's a drunk sheriff, all right.
You have finally lost your mind.
Amongst these drunkards, hillbillies, and slavers, good honest thieves like us, we're bound to be moralizers in a place like this. Oh, Sheriff Gray, you are back.
Now listen, sir. There is shine in them woods, though, and it is costing this county its good name and the state a whole lot of income.
Didn't we just drink
Boys
some?
wouldn't mind rooting it out. Maybe we'll make you permanent. I gotta sit me down a second.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem at all. You are in safe hands now. And people waste time with the temperance movement. Liquor never dulled a good man's senses. Arthur, you ride with the deputy. Bill and I will follow.
Okay, let's go take care of some moonshine, I guess. Yeah, I'll also, you know what? I'll put a link to
Pretty good.
I'll put a link to some of what Aquinas has to say about divination, because he's somewhere in between skeptical and highly cautious about such things, particularly in terms of putting one's trust in things that are supernatural, uncertain, but also not divine.
Now, I'm sure I don't need to remind you there's a chain of command here.
There is?
Dang straight there is. This is a dangerous business, but follow my lead and you'll be just fine.
Sure. Hey! Archibald wants to remind us he's in charge here.
Of course.
Who else would be?
You were a big help with them Anderson boys, and I put in a very good word with the sheriff on your behalf.
We appreciate that.
We rounded up the others soon after. I'm pushing for the rope myself, but that's by the by.
So, these moonshiners.
WizKid says also it's nice to be able to talk about this with other Christians without immediately being called a dirty pagan heretic. Well, don't be a pagan and don't commit heresy, and you won't be. You're good. Don't worry. We're nice around here.
A few changes in the labor laws. Now they're dealing in moonshine. We found their stills hidden all over Lemoyne. Quick as we destroy one another.
As for tarot, I do have to say I like the symbolism of the deck, that kind of thing, at least.
Not to mention the fact that Catherine Braithwaite has a rather expensive interest in thoroughbred horses to maintain.
I heard something about it being gold these families were fighting over.
Well, that's the rumor. But the Greys and the Braithwaites think the others stole a fortune from them. But it happened so long ago, I don't know for sure if it's true.
Must be tough being rich, huh?
So I imagine.
Yeah, I know WizKid, you're also a D&D fan because we play a D&D together tomorrow, in fact. But yeah, there's a variant on the tarot that a D&D module uses, the Curse of Strahd. I don't know how familiar are you with it. It is really neat, and my wife made a delightful custom deck of they're called Taroka cards. It's kind of a play on tarot, obviously, the obvious play on tarot. But it's to determine where things are and how things work within the module. So the module is kind of randomized. It's really neat. So you do like a fortune telling type thing in the D&D game. Really nifty. I'll have to share some pictures of some of them maybe tomorrow night when we're playing D&D. Am I supposed to get off, or am I supposed to just kind of wait? I guess I'll go and check it out. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily change the ending. Like, player decisions affect the ending. It changes how where things are and where you have to find things and who the valuable NPCs are who are going to help, that kind of thing. That kind of thing. Changes some elements of the sort of middle of the plot.
Hey, come have a
Oh, okay.
Look, suit and tie, one bullet clean through the forehead. Well, my money says this is the handiwork of a gang called the Lemoyne Raiders.
Yeah, I've run into them.
Let's see if we've got any identification.
I've shot literal dozens of them.
We should get going. I'll send someone over here later to clean this up.
Puffins. So you say, yeah, you listen to Puffin's playthrough. I assume that's a stream game. I take it? Oh, right. I need to probably get my guns off the horse. Hold on. I can't. I can't. Okay, I can't. Okay, that's annoying. But alright.
Would you mind taking the reins? I want to have a look at these papers.
Sure.
I'll
Alright.
direct you.
Alright, let's go real fast. It is a really, really cool module. It's very immersive. It is a somewhat different feel than a lot of other more standard D&D games. Oh, Puffin Forest. Okay, yeah. I've seen some of their stuff. I haven't actually watched their actual live streams though.
Yep, not the nicest fellas in my experience.
Oh, and I know the Braithwaites are in business with them. No shame. They're right again here. Trash begets trash, my Uncle Reginald used to say. He had a few stories, let me tell you. Town preacher and town sheriff. Would drink a sailor under the table before breakfast. He had one tiny hand, like a child's, on the end of a grown man's arm. But anyway, this tells you what kind of people the Braithwaites are. Selling moonshine to murderers. I tell folks don't even speak to them. Don't even look them in the eye.
I'm sure I wouldn't.
Here we are. So what was I saying?
Something about the Braithwaites, I think.
Even saying that word makes me... Now, anyone we find here, we...
Let's take our guns out.
Bring in alive, understood? Round them up, and take this operation down for good. Come on.
Kevin says I'd name my gang the Jolly Ranchers so folks would underestimate us. I like it. That sounds like Old West Pirates, which is a significant part of this game, oddly. Old West Pirates.
See? See? What did I tell you, boys? What did I say? I said this place was crawling with vermin, and we just found ourselves the rat's nest par excellence, as they say in Paris. My aunt, she went to Paris back in '78.
How will you handle this?
Well, the way I see
Actually, let my friend here decide. He doesn't have your fine way with words, but he's definitely the man for the job.
Let's split up. Arthur and Bill, me and Archibald. You boys want right or left?
Let's go left.
Let's take the left.
Let's get these filthy, degenerate tax dodgers. The cheek of them. A fine idea.
Remember what he said. We need them alive. Let's just knock them out and tie them up.
Got it, Deputy Wit.
Just realized his name's Bill Williamson, which is Bill, son of Bill. It seems a little silly to me.
Well, shit. Hey, we got an intruder.
Oh. I feel like that was my fault. Anyway, let's try again, shall we? I'm going to try going... If I have the option, I'm going to try going left this time. Or, sorry, going right this time. Oh, never mind. Okay.
These filthy, degenerate tax dodgers. The cheek of them.
Remember what he said. We need let's just knock them out and tie them up.
Got it, Deputy Williamson.
See one by the bridge over there?
What in the hell?
I think I saw another one guarding the still. I'll get this feller trussed up.
Okay, knocked him out. Easy enough. Phil Coulson, son of Cole. Oh, God. Williams, son of Will, talking about pirates. Yeah, it's a little piratical. It's very, That is actually, wait, that's, oh, God, that is Will, yeah, that's another thing. Will Turner, speaking of pirates, so Pirates of the Caribbean, Will Turner's son is Bill, or is the son of Bill. So Will, son of William, son of William, once again. I guess I gotta go around the back way. Howdy, fellas. Excuse me. There is. Just let me do it my way, fellas. Really? What the hell? Just... Why did... Okay, whatever. Alright. That'll work. Oops. Didn't mean to kick him, but I did it anyway. Alright. Yeah, WizKid, exactly. Yeah, that is... Now that I think about it, now that I actually put some thought into it, that is a... that is... I don't know why he wasn't called Junior, like William Jr., you would think, because he took his father's name kind of thing, but whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Alright.
I think that's it. Well, what do we do now?
We better destroy all this. Any of your boys can handle explosives?
Sure, anyone but him.
So, think you're real funny, don't you?
Tell me about the...
That is the last time I'll mention it, I swear.
It's not. There's no way it is. Alright, let's get out our dynamite. Oh wait, we're supposed to plant it. Let's leave. Let's shoot them.
Give me a hand with these
All right, boys, we're putting you out of business.
Alright, let's take the chance to reload. Wait, so which one, what was excessive force? Was it the dynamite, or was it shooting all of them in the head? Alright, there's more of them. Those are, Kylie, those are not O'Driscolls, those are Lemoyne Raiders. Those are the South will Rise Again, former Confederate soldier kind of folks. Who are also a gang full of miscreants and murderers and such. Uh-oh. Let's take cover here. Ah, I got his hat. Oh, you got him. Okay.
I don't see any more. Do you? No. Let's find Dutch and get out of here.
Nah.
Fine by me.
Let's take all of their guns. Or, not their guns. Guns are probably crap. That's a Springfield rifle. Don't need it. Anyway, so let's just do some looting as we go, and that's not a big deal. I think there's dynamite on that wagon. Oh, the kicking the guy with the... Yeah, that was... Oh, look, that is dynamite. Let's not shoot it. Yet. Maybe we should cut the horses free first, so they don't both die. That'd be a little... That would certainly be cruel if we blow up the wagon with the horses attached. That does seem a little bit... certainly excessive. I don't know why there's a damn wagon full of dynamite, though. That's a little bit silly. What else we got? Anyway. Oh, wait. Yeah, so I was totally supposed to plant the dynamite and then light it and then run away, but I didn't do that. My bad. It worked out. It worked out just fine. I still blew up the still, so... No big deal. I'm going to see if I can go cut those horses loose so they run off and I can blow up that wagon, because I really just want to blow up that wagon. Not for any good reason other than gigantic explosion, because that sounds like a lot of fun to just cause a gigantic explosion. After I'm done looting everyone. Happy prospector noises. I assume you mean about dynamite. Because, yeah, absolutely. Dynamite just... It's just so much fun. Alright, can I cut him loose? No, I didn't know. Horse, no, I'm sorry. Can I... shoot them loose? That doesn't work at all. Okay, well... oh yeah, cut free. There we go. Okay, get on out. What are you? Okay. How about the other one? Cut free. Alright, get out. Go and get. Please go. Okay. Well, should have seen that coming. Well, I need my hat. I'm just going to shoot the ground some more. Kevin says your chair sounded like a giant chicken. Yeah, I'm trying to work on that. Go. Go, shoo. Alright. Great. You're out of range. Alright, go away, horses. Okay. Everybody ready? Boom time. Yeah, I am trying to work on the chicken on the chicken chair. I need to Nah, that didn't blow up. Alright. This will though. Trying to work on the chicken chair. I need to oil some things, but it's alright. Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1. Nice. Not bad. Could have been bigger. but it's pretty good. I'm satisfied. I'm gonna have some meat though, because like horse kick hurt. Wagon go boom. Absolutely, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. All right, anything else worth taking? Oh, vegetables. I don't need biscuits. All right, that'll about do it. Let's get out of here. Yeah, Kylie, I did expect it to be a little bit bigger of an explosion, but that was respectable. It was decent. Could have been better, but it was decent. Ooh, is that a saddleable stork? Looks like it.
Well, forgive me, but me and my men must return to our lives. Seems like we failed to destroy the last of the moonshine.
Sure.
Would you like us to?
Well, I normally take it. For personal consumption, it's sort of part of the job. But I better get back home. Why don't I just take a jug or two and leave you boys the rest to show that there's no hard feelings on account of the war?
We are all Americans.
Of course. My cousin, Webster, he used to say some of us is not as American as others, if you know what I mean. Only I didn't quite. Come on, you degenerate, no-good, white trash, hillbilly piece of scum. I know you, Billy Lime.
Finally.
You've always been a piece of crap. Come on, move.
We have a
Move
life
it.
on a land so stupid, a backwater so backwards that even we are like geniuses. Bill, get this stuff out of here. Come on, you ride with me. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Should I stash this somewhere near camp, boss?
Yes, show it to Hosea. I'm sure he can find a use for it. Bit of trouble back there, Arthur?
Ain't there always? From what they was yelling, I think they were the buyers.
Old Archibald didn't ask too many questions, so neither should we.
I ain't planning to.
That was worth the effort, though. Deputized and hiding in plain sight. These lawmen, these two families. I mean, I really think we can play this from all sides. It's got Hosea written all over it.
This is starting to sound like the Young Dutch again.
What do you mean, Young Dutch? I'm as strong as I have ever been. Hey, you know what? Why don't I race you back?
Here we go. Yeah, let's do it.
You're on. That's the spirit. Okay. On my word. Set. Go.
Yep.
All right. I'm not gonna let him win, but if he does, that's okay. And I'm also not gonna smoke past him. Now, I will also say this is almost a decent plan as far as Dutch's plans go. This is almost one. The trouble is that, of course, as always, he takes it way too far. And he gets to the point where he's trying way too hard to play all sides of the game, and will not settle for just quitting while he's ahead, that sort of thing.
When are you going to start blaming that horse? That's how it usually goes.
Oof. Uh-oh. Ah. Darn it. I missed the turn. Alright, let's go. Let's keep going. I can do this. I don't actually know if I'm going to win this one. Fly, Peppermint. Fly like the wind.
Unless you catch a second win, this won't be much of a race.
I'm just picking my moment, Dutch.
Alright. Yes, very much so, WizKid. He makes absolutely the classic gambler's gambler's error. Instead of quitting while he's ahead, instead of settling in and with a nice gig as a sheriff's deputy, where he can actually protect the gang by being part of the law, and they can kind of do stuff under the radar and all that kind of thing, which would have been a great arrangement, really, if you think about it. Instead, they decide to cause more and more and more trouble. And by causing more and more and more trouble, oh, here we go. We can do it. Oh, he stopped. Why'd he stop? All right, I beat him.
I never knew you were quite so good at running away, Arthur.
I never knew age had slowed you down quite so much.
Well, time is a bastard. When you get to be my age, well, you'll know that better than anything. Be well. I had fun with you today. I was gonna say you're like a son to me, but you're more than that.
Forget what Dutch's horse is named. You can actually see it. Hold on. Let's see. Forget. The Count. It's called the Count. It's his legendary beast. Let's brush our good old Peppermint for doing such a good job. Somebody wants to fish with us again. I don't know who that is. But can't right now. It's too late in the day, I guess. Oh, yeah. Is it Hosea? Who's that? Or is that John? Oh, it's Javier. Okay. I always thought you could ride their horses. My first playthrough, WizKid says. Yeah, no, do not ride Dutch's horse. Don't mess with Dutch's horse. He will kill you. Kill you dead.
Around here, famous for the smallmouth bass. Fella I met showed me a couple spots. You want to join me?
I can't fish with you. You're far too good.
Oh, come on. Hey, join me. I'll show you a couple of my tricks.
All right, another fishing trip. Let's go for it.
Not too far from here that I've been wanting to try out.
Glad you're so excited about this.
You will be too when you start pulling out smallmouth.
Go on, pal.
All right.
Okay, follow me.
I thought you said it wasn't far.
Too far to walk, though. Yeah, come on.
All right. So is there anything I missed in terms of our discussion about... Dude, looks like Johnny Depp. Yeah, kind of. Anything I missed in terms of the discussion about ghosts, or we about covered it on there? Like I said, I do want to put up... the link to Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World podcast on the subject, which is really good on this.
How you feeling about everything? Been a strange couple of months.
Hey, I can't even return to my country because the price of my head is so big. This is nothing exactly new to me. And I'll always be loyal to Dutch. He sees the world the same as I do. If we have to fight, we'll fight. If we have to run, we'll run. If we must die, we'll die, but we'll stay free.
And Dutch, you don't feel like, well, that he's doing things a little differently now? You saw what happened with that girl on the ferry.
No fight, good or bad, is won without blood. I know that better than most. I think too many people are focusing on Dutch when they should be looking at themselves, what they could have done better.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, we'll have to catch up on this after D&D. Let me know. I might be able to show you some of the pictures of the Taroka deck for Curse of Strahd. My wife made custom cards for it, the whole thing.
Some beautiful steelhead trout.
Nice.
The Lanahassee River.
No. The Lanahatchee. It runs right near here.
Yeah, but it's pronounced Lanahassee.
Why is everything in English said differently than it's written? Make us feel stupid?
Oh,
Well, yes. Giving Javier character development that goes nowhere. Yeah, sadly. He's one of the least developed characters in the game, but that's kind of the only way it makes sense for him to wind up siding with Dutch, I guess. But yeah, I'll see if I can show you some. Some of them are so all of the high deck are what the high deck normally should be for the Taroka deck. The low deck, each of the suits, are various NPCs and player characters from our game. So if you draw a card, that might be your character's face. So that's a pretty cool element to it that gets added to our game. So that'll be neat. That'll be neat. Kylie says, I always thought that purgatory is where demons would go if they themselves were able to be killed. I never thought about it as a waiting place between heaven and hell for human souls. Yeah, that is the latter is very much how purgatory is traditionally understood. It is hence purgation. It is where human souls are purged of their remaining the temporal effects of sin, and then also what am I supposed to equip here? Bread, maybe? Cheese? Yeah, cheese, I guess. Rock glass, maybe? Sure, why not? But yeah, the idea is that nothing unclean can enter heaven, right? That nothing that is imperfect can enter the presence of God, the direct presence of God. And so that necessitates that, well, we are clearly not perfect, even when we die. And so what that means is that we need to be purged of our remaining commitments to sin, that sort of thing. Our commitments to sin, our attachment to sin, and then also the effects of our sins, right? The temporal effects of what has happened because we sin. So WizKid, you described perfectly correct, right?
I guess it's still relaxing even if I don't catch anything.
It's true, I guess.
Sort of like
I'll pick that up in a second.
the sky.
It's your bait, I think. Come use some of mine.
Oh, it's not the bait. It's me. I've always been a poor fisherman, especially compared with you and Jose.
Just try some of my. Here. Crickets.
Thanks.
All right, well, let's try crickets. So WizKid says, I mean, it's in the name, purgatory. Sounds like purge. Yeah, same root word in Latin. So it only makes sense to me in that context, right? So yeah, absolutely. The whole point is that we are purged of our remaining commitment to sin. Kylie says, although my ideas of purgatory are heavily influenced by supernatural. Yeah, fair. I've mentioned to you before, I think in person, we've chatted in the office about supernatural, that the show certainly takes liberties with the metaphysics of the afterlife and heaven and hell and angels as well.
Look at that. That's a good looking fish.
Well done.
He's a fighter.
Charmed, WizKid, I've never actually watched Charmed, so I wouldn't be able to tell you how it is in terms of that sort of thing. If you're looking for angelology, look no further than Thomas Aquinas. He's the expert. Hence the angelic doctor, as he's known. I don't need it, so I'm gonna toss it back.
Fish will stop feeding soon. Let's catch a couple more and then head back.
All right.
My bag is getting full.
Kylie's ride or die for Supernatural, but I appreciate Charmed. Yeah, like I've said, there are some, from what I know about it, there are some issues with the speculative theology and the metaphysics of the afterlife, and particularly with angels and demons, with supernatural. They're very not embodied per se, but they are very temporal.
We open the door and it's full of women and children. Rich, but women and children. So we let it go and read in the newspaper that the O'Driscolls robbed and killed them all the next day further down the trail.
Yep. You know, way back in the day, Home O'Driscoll and Dutch were sort of friends.
Friends?
Well, not friends, but they had an understanding. Then Combs Main Street got meaner, and Dutch wanted to try to live a different way.
And now, here we are.
Yeah, Kylie, I'll have to put in. That's another link I'll have to put in there. Is somewhere you can find something good for on Aquinas on angels. Typically, I would say the Summa Theologiae is probably the right place to look for what Aquinas has to say on just about every subject. But I'll see if there is stuff in other works. Probably in De Malo, which is hard to find online, but I have the physical book, so I can at least give you a citation, and possibly in Summa Contra Gentiles. Not bad. I still don't really need it, so nah. Still don't need fish. I'd rather have honor. All right.
Ain't just the bait.
I'm gonna head out. You wanna join me, or you keep trying for these bastards?
Yeah, let's head back.
I'll come.
Okay, let's go.
So WizKid says about Charmed, it's interesting, the idea of guardian angels, white lighters living among us and protecting certain people, and certain people's interesting. More supreme being than beyond being itself in supernatural, right? So in terms of God, I assume you mean. I've always wondered, Kylie says, if when a soul is admitted to heaven, are they then allowed to come and go from heaven to visit loved ones as they please? Presumably no. Not that they aren't allowed to, but that they well, in a sense, there's nowhere for them to go, right? Because a disembodied spirit is not in space per se, right? They're not any particular location. Heaven isn't a location exactly. It is a state of being, a state of direct contact, direct apperception of God. And so what that means is that heaven is the experience of the beatific vision. Which what that means is the direct, like I said, direct contact with God. And so coming and going is doesn't quite make metaphysical sense. Kevin says most of the honor I have is from releasing fish. Oh, geez, that's neat, Kevin. Let's give all debts first of all. Kevin says your voice is perfectly synced on phone and computer, so now I'm hearing two Vinces and it's trippy. Well, at least it's perfectly synced and it's not off by like a quarter of a second or something. That's even worse. Let's contribute. Let's give that $27 we've got. That's there. That'll work. So we've got exactly 1,000. Sounds good. That's decent. All right. Oh man, you ruined the sync. That's unfortunate. Yeah, there's little worse than two desynced audio sources. I despise that. But yeah, I was saying about oh yeah okay.
Do you think the Pinkertons are finally gonna kill us?
Perhaps.
I'm so worried.
Oh man, sorry, Red. Another time. So the other issue with heaven, right, is whether and why one would want to leave, go their own way, do their own thing. If you have an attachment to something that you would, for some reason, prefer to the beatific vision, prefer to being in the presence of God, that is a misplacement of priorities. That's a kind of idolatry, even. It is preferring something lesser to something greater, preferring something less than God to God himself. And so saying that you would need the presence of a loved one in order to enjoy the glories of heaven means that you are not in a place to be in heaven. And that's what purgatory is for. WizKid says, I don't like the whole God has weaknesses thing because it misses the point of what God actually is. Very much so as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's another issue with Supernatural. It really humanizes the divine in a missing the point kind of way, I think. Like you said. Let's see, what's Molly do?
Call me Molly, would you? Arthur, how is Dutch? I mean, how does he seem to you?
About the same as usual, I guess.
I really love him, you know. But if he... Like he always says, loyalty is everything, so...
Arthur! Excuse me, Miss O'Shea.
What you want?
I bring a gift. The great gift of information.
So you got some tip-off, so now I can risk my neck and make you some money while you lounge around.
You know, Arthur, bitterness, it works on the inside as well as on your sour face.
If you say so, you could go find some other fool to run your errands.
Bill, come on over here. Will you be my other fool? You too, Charles.
What are you talking about?
Oh, is this one?
Stick up I heard about.
No, I'm not.
You just said.
Yeah, I'll do it, as long as you ride with us.
I got a serious medical condition.
Yes, you are a compulsive liar.
No need to be like that. Charles, have I ever lied to you?
I hardly know you.
Exactly. Now, you boys should do this. It's easy, and I'll only take a small commission for my information. But it's now or never.
Then it's never.
Oh, God help me. Fine, I'll do it.
Well, what is it?
It's a supply wagon carrying payroll, but very briefly unguarded, apparently. As it passes through a crossroads near here where there's an old ruined church before it connects with the rest of the wagon train. Very easy pickings.
As long as we get paid or you get shot, I'm happy.
You are a sick man, Arthur Morgan. A very sick
True,
man
innit? All right. So to catch up, because there's been a couple of things going on in the chat. But hold on a second.
How you get wind of this, old man? We only been down here all of 5 minutes.
Sorry about that. I had to sneeze again.
Fishing or playing lawman or whatever the hell you've been doing.
So WizKid says, right, attachment keeps you bound to earth, and if taken enough to extremes, can lead to damnation. Very much so, because in that sense, if it's taken to its ultimate degree, it amounts to a rejection of God in favor of something else, and that's obviously, that's what damnation is rejection of God. All right, what do I got here? I need my good old weapons here. All right.
Once a decade, maybe. So what is it you've scoped here exactly?
Well, I told you. There's a wagon with a lockbox passes through every week. They switch outriders just north of here, but the front wagons buy itself for a stretch before the last run down in the road. I've been watching.
There we go.
All right. We best hit it quick, Dan.
Okay. So. No, not that. That.
Through the crossroads up ahead. When? Soon, Williamson. Christ's sakes. I should be due any time now.
It's quiet and clean.
So about Supernatural, Kylie says, true, I think Supernatural wanted to feel out a version where God could have weaknesses by introducing something that could be more powerful than God. I think that also tragically misses the point of God. It's another one of those. So WizKid says, although I think personally that most people who don't... Oh, here, let's do this first before I keep it up.
You know, boys, I don't want to get shot, but this is a mistake. I work for Cornwall Kerosene and Tar, Mr. Leviticus Cornwall.
Oh, great.
So you know him?
Who doesn't? I hear he's rich enough to share the wealth around and not miss it too much.
Oh, he'll miss it.
Okay, why don't you check out around the back? Arthur, help me out here.
Hold on. Don't you try and do that to me. I need my guns.
Are you gonna give me a hand here?
Yeah, calm down. Alright. So WizKid says, although I think personally that most people don't know how God are just doomed to Ouroboros and repeating the cycle of time, the human experience, just as different people after they die. Nah. The whole reincarnation thing becomes an issue with... it becomes kind of a Gnostic thing, where the person turns into essentially being a spirit in various bodies, like transmigration of the soul kind of thing, rather than being fundamentally a hylomorphic mind-body union. There's one.
Where the hell are we going? Getting out of here! What kind of dumb questions? Dig in, boys! Come on! Come on! We need to lose them! Wait, son of bitches! You can move fast when you have to, can't you? Just shut up, Williamson! Dead man! Quick! Get off the trail! Into the woods! That's my boy. Let's shake him and get back to camp!
No, we need to find a place to lie low. We can't risk meeting Cornwall's men at camp.
All right!
Whoa!
Let's hide in here. Quick! Easy. Go on. Get out of here.
Alright, got my rifle, so that's good news.
Stay until dark, then we'll sneak out of here. Charles, you keep watch for now.
Sure.
Well, we, get some rest.
So like I said, there are issues, there are metaphysical issues with transmigration of the soul. Primarily that it makes the soul its own separate thing to the body, to various bodies, which it can't naturally be. So let's see how this goes.
Let's just keep this calm. See what happens.
Is this your place? Kinda. And you didn't hear nothing? Why don't you just tell me, partner, what you heard? Tell me what you heard. I don't... Maybe I heard some noises out by the barn a while ago.
Damn.
Ain't me.
Better not be. Alright. Group forth. Low. Go check out the barn.
Sir.
Well, the place looks deserted enough.
Sure. You head inside, I'll go around the back.
Looks like we're shooting our way.
Why'd you shoot him? Damn it.
Behind you, Charles. More on the right here.
Damn it.
Where are they all coming from? Looks like Mr. Cornwall's gone and upped his security.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Alright. There we go.
What happened to keep this coal marker? They were seconds from finding us anyway. This fella really don't like getting robbed. Let's just
Yeah,
hope we
let's do some reloading really quick. Alright, this is getting crazy.
Cornwall for a while. I didn't know we was robbing Cornwall. All right?
God damn it, they're popping in this way now. There's a goddamn horde of them on the left here. Hold them back! Do not let them close in on us!
We got more on this side. Shit! Fire!
Ain't you glad now I insisted you come along?
Oh, this is it. I'm officially retired.
Don't worry, fellas. We ain't going out like this. No goddamn way. Why? You got another surefire plan for us, Uncle? Why are they all shooting at me? Everyone still breathing? You would be. If we don't get out of here soon, we're charcoal.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
This whole place is catching.
Come on, old man.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah, okay.
Let's head to the woods. Into the tree. Come on.
So this went very, very poorly, very quickly.
Try to lose him in the woods.
Let's split up a bit. Try to confuse them. Arthur, with me.
Oh, shut the hell up.
What the hell are you doing? We need to be quiet.
Oh, supposed to be quiet? Oops. I thought you meant light the forest on fire. Alright.
Behind these rocks.
go with some knives out, just in case. Just in case we need to quietly take somebody down.
You see anything? Not yet. You ain't long
Eh.
for this life, you no good bastard.
All right, nice bill.
Uh-oh. Sounds like they got some trouble over there. We better go give them a hand.
Okay, so let's see. How's this going? Shot him in the ass. Twice.
We all still have
Just about.
Yeah, I'll deal with you later.
We got some money, didn't we?
Sure, but now we got Cornwall on our backs.
It was an honest
Hey,
mistake.
leave it. Go on, get out of here. Every man split up. Go on, run quick.
Good luck, gents.
Stay quiet and move.
Okay. Oh shit, there's a witness. You know what? No time for this. Okay. Gonna need some of these things. Okay, now I missed a lot of chat, understandably. So I think we're gonna do some chat, and we're gonna wrap up pretty soon because it's getting close to midnight. Darn it! Who saw me? God damn it!
You ever look at a tombstone from the bottom?
We'll kill you. What's wrong with you? God damn it all. Christ.
Crime report by who? Oh, damn it. All right. You know what? Let's get the hell out of here. That was a nice scowl, though, from Arthur. Oh, crap. There comes the law. Let's get out of here again.
Get ready to drop them if we need to. Hold up. Don't you move.
Yep.
What? Come on, Peppermint. What's wrong with you? Okay. So that was a mess. Uh-oh. I think I'm gonna head towards Rhodes so I can pay my bounty in peace. I think this is the Rhodes way. Alright, no more lawmen right here, so that's fine. Alright. I don't have a hat. I lost my hat. Darn, at some point I lost my hat. I'm disappointed in myself. Oh well, I'll live. Okay, so Whew. Going back a ways, we were talking about supernatural for a while, and I will kind of comment about this. So I think I do think that they're the kind of mistreating of theology does manage to make for good character studies, that sort of thing, because it's not about the divine, it's about man's struggle with what is greater than the self, that kind of thing, right? So it does help for character development purposes, that sort of thing. But at the same time, it is kind of, I would say nonsensical to an extent, because a lot of what the divine is portrayed like, and by the divine I don't just mean God, I mean those things which are greater than man, so including angels, demons, etc., everything, are portrayed in a way that is very much unlike how they actually are. So let's see what's up. Oh, this guy. We'll take care of this next time, I think.
No, you look awful.
Awful. Look at me. Useless. I wasn't born to this. I didn't deserve this. I used to be a gentleman. Jeremiah Compson stead.
Good for you, if that's anything to boast about.
They took everything from me.
Who did?
They.
And what did they take?
My whole life. A whole way of living, a career.
I stole a lot of things, but that's quite a lot to steal.
Look at me here, living in the shit and the mud.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. It's Kylie. It is looking like mine's working. It's working on my end.
Grandfather built. It's all dilapidated and destroyed, repossessed by the bank.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I was supposed to live a different life.
Me too.
If only I could get my old things back. Personal mementos, a watch, old pistol, my ledger.
Where's this house again?
Compson Stead, north of Scarlet Meadows. Bank says I can't go near it. I'm living rough over by Harris Field.
Well, if I'm ever out that way, I'll see what I can do.
Time is hell.
All right, so eventually we'll go, probably next week, we'll go and see what's up with that. What his deal is. That is, I think, what that marker just showed us. What JC, yeah, Jeremiah Compson Stead, right up there. Look at that. That's right up near where we were, I think, where we were just shooting everyone. Yeah, somewhere up there. We'll take care of that next time, I think. For now, though, seeing as we've only got a few more minutes before midnight, I usually like to wrap up around then. I do want to address this that I think WizKid said it properly up here somewhere. Something about God having weaknesses, or there being something more powerful than God fundamentally misses the point. Because God is that than which nothing greater can be thought, right? Is maximal perfection itself, all of that. And because of that, anything other than that, anything less than that, would be not God, and it would be some other divine being, maybe a demiurge, a Platonist, in a Platonic sense, that kind of thing. Anyway, so yeah, I think that was a good talk. Unfortunately, I was a little distracted by everything going horrifyingly wrong for Arthur, and I didn't want to ruin the moment, so I kind of let it settle. But I'd be happy to keep talking about this one. This is always good and interesting. I might find a good resource on the metaphysical troubles with transmigration of the soul or reincarnation. I think Aquinas addresses it. The whole men are permitted to die once and then the judgment kind of thing. It's in his commentary on that, that sort of thing. So that might be might be interesting and useful for some of you to take a look at and see what you think. In any case, I think I am going to call it there. So, as promised last time, I am still trying to get a forum together for the reading group. That should be hopefully working. There is a way to do it. I just need to make sure that I can do it, and I can do it on the free version of WordPress. So hopefully that'll work. Hopefully I'll get that up this weekend, and hopefully you guys can expect the next reading group video up soon. I can't guarantee that too soon because my voice, like I said, is a little bit hoarse due to the whole grilling thing. So I've been slow on recording. So hopefully though that'll come up soon, and we will have some good discussions having to do with SCOTUS. And otherwise, that'll about wrap us up for tonight. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you all next time. Bye.